Good afternoon, everyone. God bless you. The God and Goddess Meru would like to share with us this day how the golden light of the sun that is expressed through the fire of the sun manifests in our world in such a way that the precious elementals are able to utilize that light, that warmth, that spiritual fire to co-create on earth the beautiful green verdant earth that we have through photosynthesis. And so I am wearing green today at the request of the God and Goddess Meru because, of course, the color green has within it the colors blue and yellow. In most traditions, the chakras are seen going from the base to the crown in the rainbow colors. And so you would start at the base, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And so the heart chakra, in most traditions, is green. Although we have a different color system that we inherited from the Summit Lighthouse within our Heart Center movement, this understanding of the importance of green for heart-centeredness and for our use in bringing love to everything is important for us to embrace. The love of God expressed by the sun that precipitates in time and space as we know it and experience it, this wonderful coloration that we see everywhere in nature as green is a very healing manifestation. When you spend time in nature, when you enjoy God within nature as the created universe, because God created the universe and God created nature, you can enter into a greater state of wholeness and oneness through that wholeness that is tantamount to the ultimate oneness of union with God. The more time we spend in nature and enjoying the fruits of the sun, which are upon earth, the trees, the plants, the bushes, all of the flora that we see around us, the beautiful flowers, the fruits, vegetables, berries, nuts, everything that nature provides, the more we can enter into that harmonic state of oneness with God and re-experience Eden again on earth. We are all invested now in co-creating with God a new earth, a new solar civilization. Eckhart Tolle's second book, A New Earth, and Omar Mikhail Ivanhoff's book, A Solar Civilization, are important for us to read and assimilate because, as initiates of the sacred fire, we are invested in helping co-create the golden crystal age of Aquarius, in which the earth will be greened again, rebirthed again in the emerald light of wholeness and in the new Eden. To have the Eden experience, the God and Goddess Meru say, is important for us. And what is that Eden experience? It is the harmony, the peace, the transcendence, and the oneness of being one with nature, which is tantamount to being one with God. In the Garden of Eden, we were one with God. We were in league with God, in harmony with God before the fall of our consciousness into mortality from immortality. So to rise out of that state of mortality to immortality again, we have to embrace the lessons of the Son, the wisdom and truth of the Son, the energy of the Sun, in order to reestablish this solar civilization of light upon Earth. And right within our heart center vision statement, we have the statement that we are co-creating these communities of light. We live in sustainable golden age communities in harmony with Mother Nature, using solar sciences of the spirit. We live and love as one. We live and love as one. These solar sciences of the spirit we are learning now more of, and in a recent Heart Center staff meeting with Lanello, we discussed some of these solar sciences of the spirit, what they are. And although I have not publicly talked about them yet, the God and Goddess Meru are sharing today that we will share more and more about this in coming exposés or discourses. Maybe not so much an expose as an exposition, a sharing from on high, and there will be guidelines and understandings provided for us to learn to become solar beings more and more through our assimilation of the wisdom of the Sun, the light of the Sun, and as we work with and in nature. More and more of us are involved in organic gardening and permaculture, and we are using these principles to create amazing plants that provide food and nourishment for us, that provide us with so much joy. What greater thing is there to experience than watching nature work in all of her glory? Plants growing from seeds to fully self-realized beings that create fruits through their work for us to assimilate, and then new seeds for a new generation. We can learn a lot from nature and from what God has to share with us within nature if we are sensitive, if we use our intuition, if we speak with nature, the elementals and the plants themselves, we listen to their messages, to their inspiration, sometimes chiding us to water them or take care of them when we haven't, or when we have ignored them. We must not any longer ignore the message of nature if we are to accelerate this process of self-realization, self-transcendence, self-actualization, and our final liberation, enlightenment, and eternal freedom in our ascension. How the sun precipitates within our earth and the environment of the earth the light of purity and wisdom and truth and love and all of these virtues is an amazing alchemy. The sun is very wise and uses this seemingly unlimited storehouse of power through fusion, the fusion of hydrogen atoms into helium, which is ongoing for billions and billions of years. How the sun does this is amazing. And we can take heart and take our cue from the sun that when we are fused with God internally, we also will emanate light. When we are one with God in a loving, positive, dynamic way, we become that dynamo of perfect light, a storehouse and a powerhouse of tremendous illumination and radiation that people will literally be healed in our presence through that light, through that love that we project, emit, emanate to all. So how are we assimilating the light so that we can photosynthesize that light within us to perfume the atmosphere with the graces of God that we, as co-creators, are meant to share? This is our work, and as we experiment and do alchemy through this work and learn how to assimilate light, how to eat fire and drink light, or drink fire and eat light, doesn't matter. How we learn to do that will be indicative of how quickly we come into perfect union with God. So to assimilate light, we must first be aware of it. We must recognize it and take the time to be in the light of the sun, in meditation, first thing in the morning, being in nature as much as we can. We must stay in the light, be in the light, live in the light. That must be our choice, to live in the light. Then, as we live in the light and partake of that light, the light enters our being through our eyes, through the eyes of our soul, through the pores of our skin, through our hands, through our minds, through our feet, and through our chakras. Our chakras both receive the light of God and emanate how we qualify that light of God through our lives. When we drink in the light through our eyes, through the pores of our skin, through our minds, our hands and feet, and our chakras, and we learn through this assimilation process how to actually process this light, we are beginning as alchemists to experiment with this divine thing called light. And we must continue our experimentation and utilization of light. Remember, light is the alchemical key, even as love is an alchemical key. Yet the first statement was, light is the alchemical key. Well, if light is the alchemical key, how do we use it? We must shine the light on our work and our service. We must be that light at all times. We must remain tethered to the light, focused on the light, and use that light to glorify God and magnify the Lord. When we glorify God, there is light manifesting through us. When we magnify the Lord, we are focalizing and concentrating the light of God through the magnifying glass of our being, our chakras, our consciousness, to accelerate that light and utilize it to crystallize that light for some great work and service. So when we magnify God, we're expanding God's beingness in our domain. We are amplifying and crystallizing what the light is and does through our co-creative efforts. If we are always in the light and live in the light will serve us. If we choose to abide in darkness, then the light will recede from us. It's a simple equation. So we must choose to live in the light. When we live in the light, everything is exposed, and therefore we can't hide from God and from the divine world. Criminals like to work in the dark at night so that they can't be seen, because they don't desire what they're doing to be exposed and seen, because they'd be caught, arrested, and justice will have its reward. We choose to work consciously in the light of day, and everything that we do can be seen, because there's nothing for us to hide. Nothing for us to hide. So if you feel at times that you must hide something, discern Helios Vesta and the God and Goddess Meru say as to why you would prefer to work in darkness or not let people know. Now, there's sometimes we do alchemy and we don't let everybody know until we've precipitated what we're working on, and that's a different thing. We're still working in the light. We're just not exposing everyone to what we're doing at the time we're doing it, because we desire the intimacy of that alchemy to manifest, to prevent unholy eyes and evil eyes from seeing it, commenting on it, and negating it, or projecting negativity toward it. That's different, though, than working in darkness. So working alchemy means that we don't expose things too early. It's like the seed of a plant first going as roots down into the earth. That is the alchemical work that we're doing kind of in utero first, in order to then give birth to something great when it comes to the surface. So in one sense, yes, we work in the darkness of that experience of being within the earth, earthy. Yet we're still not working for evil or the negative side, the dark side of the force. We're working in secrecy, so to speak, until the experiment, the alchemy, is ready to reveal when it has been fulfilled and accomplished. We're still working in the consciousness of the light, which is still stimulating that seed by the sun to continue the processes of setting down those roots deep in the earth, so there is a foundation for the plant to grow up above the surface of the soil. When we wear green, we invoke the emerald light, we work with Mother Mary and Archangel Raphael, Hilarion, Lady Francesca, Cyclopean Virginia, Leto Meta, Angel Deva of the Jade Temple, and all the healing masters, Vistala. We can accelerate the power of creation within the emerald ray, because what the emerald ray does is tantamount to creation itself. It can accelerate the creation. When two souls come together and there is procreation, there is the giving birth through their love of a new creature. This is the power of creation. And the emerald ray is right there at the nexus of that love, through the heart chakra, to provide the impetus, the wherewithal, the frequencies, the energies of spirit for that love to unfold both the givers, the receivers, and then the new co-creative being that is brought forth through that holy act. Now, I've shared in the past that the sun is in a constant state of cosmic co-creation, the fusion of hydrogen atoms to become helium. This is a billions of years process where light is generated, warmth or heat is generated, and the power within that light to create life and sustain life is there. So if the sun is doing this, we can take our cue from the sun and live as solar beings, living in beingness, co-creativity, and the power of what that co-creativity offers as inspiration, as artistic renderings, as divine thought and mindfulness in everything that we do. When we live in the light and we use the light for co-creative works and alchemies, we are participating with God in the continuity of creation itself. We've heard this before recently, that the creation didn't stop on the sixth day when God rested on the seventh. There's a new week going on all the time. And so co-creation and the greater creation is continuing. New things are being created all the time. We are expanding God's kingdom, God's cosmos, all the time. New thought, new ideations, new inspirations, new intuitive concepts, new imaginations are always occurring. This is how we participate in this beautiful creation. So, to learn the message of the sun and commune with the sun, God and Goddess Meru, Helios and Vesta, Alpha and Omega, and to receive continuous inspiration, ongoing intuitional flashes and ideas and conceptions of light is important for each of us. We have progressive revelation in our movement, yet it doesn't just come through one person. It comes through all of us. You are all messengers of light. You are all messengers of love. You are all messengers of co-creative power, wisdom, and love. Remember this. You have that spark of divinity within you. This makes you a co-creator with God. Your threefold flame in the secret chamber of your heart authenticates you as a son, a daughter of God, and as an S-U-N of God, as a son, S-O-N, or daughter of God. Your threefold flame is what authenticates you as a co-creator, as a son of God. Remember this, because if you get down on yourself or depressed, yet you then go within, meditate on the threefold flame, feel that light, that spark of divinity within you. Fan that flame until you really, really feel it. You feel the heat of it, the warmth of it, the radiance of it, and then allow that radiance to expand like the sun does. Then you will learn how the sun operates, and as a son of God in your own right, you will fulfill your destiny. Living a spirited and spiritual life is easy for those who choose to live in the light. It's easy, it's fun, it's wonderful. You can live in happiness and joy and levity forever if you simply choose to remain in the light and to live from the light, with the light, and utilize that light. Always to glorify God and not the human ego. Always to glorify and magnify the Lord and not the human ego. That is the one caveat. If you use the light to glorify the human ego, then in a sense you're not really fully living in that light, because the ego is the shadow of the real self. It's just a chimera, it's just an illusion, yet we've made it so real. We've made it us rather than the God us, the God beingness that is the true us. This is the teaching for today. I encourage everyone to be healed in the light of the sun. And if you have ever any times of depression, get with the program by getting in the sun, allowing the sun to shine in your face. You don't have to look directly at the sun, as in solar gazing the first hour of the morning or the last hour before sunset. You can just close your eyes and allow the light to pour into you spiritually. Yet if you get depressed, you have to get into the light. And that is the key to overcoming depression. It is light, light, light. Vitamin D3 is assimilated directly in you when you are living in the light of the sun. And other vitamin Ds are assimilated as you live in the light of the sun. So get in the sun, stay in the light, fulfill your destiny, your purpose through love, and enjoy your life. Thank you so much.